I think in terms of the current issues for our industry and the food industry in general, it's winning back trust from consumers. Consumers have been quite shocked about the complexity of supply chains and the ability of criminals to infiltrate the supply chains. And they've been really surprised at how diverse and how wide and how deep the supply chain goes. So actually restoring consumers' confidence, getting them back on board, I'd put as the number one priority for the whole of the food industry. I think traceability of products has been something that has been a growing interest for consumers for a number of years now. Everyone's getting much more interested in provenance, where the food comes from, where it's made, what it contains. And I think with the advent of increased technology and people being able to find much more about their food and where it comes from, it's something that retailers and brands have had to think about and address for a number of years. I think that interest of consumers is growing and will get ever stronger. And as we come out of difficult economic times, which hopefully we will do at least within my lifetime, that I think the consumers' desire to know more about their foods and where it's come from and how sustainable it is will be ever more important to them. I think the industry is working hard to get to some of those answers, but it's got a long way to go. In terms of the new demands in regulation coming from the EU, I'd say in terms of my membership, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I have the leading retailers as members, some big brands, some big wholesale players, but lots of SMEs. Obviously, the bigger you are, the more likely you are to be prepared and to be already embracing nutritional information, allergen information, and lots of the details that consumers want and now are absolutely needed by law. I think as far as the smaller players are concerned, particularly regional wholesalers, independents, a lot of this information will be quite a shock to them. And I think there's quite a bit of catching up to be done, particularly at the bottom end of the pyramid. In terms of the key strategic objectives as far as the British Frozen Food Federation is concerned, that's driven by the needs of my members. What's common across the producers and the wholesalers is that what we've just recently talked about, consumers needing more and more information. So getting into a state of readiness for the new demands in terms of packaging and providing information and passing that on to the next person in the supply chain will become increasingly important. So one of the priorities for us is working with GS1 and the FSDG group to try and find a way forward and actually get more of our members who have not yet started on this ladder to at least get onto the first rung of the ladder. As far as my members' readiness and embracing GTINs and barcodes, it has been an issue, it still is an issue, and it will be an issue. I think we have to find good ways and clever ways of really putting the business case across to our regional wholesalers and independents especially, even though some of the big brands haven't embraced them either as far as food service is concerned. I think it comes down to what the business case is. If businessmen see a very good reason for doing something and it impacts their bottom line or it impacts their relationship with their customers, they're likely to do it. So I think what we really have to get across is how GTINs and barcodes will help businesses to become better businesses. I think in terms of what we can do to move this on and get more of the wholesalers to embrace GTINs and barcodes, I think the work that the FSDG group is absolutely critical. We've identified a roadmap of steps that we can take to try and engage wholesalers and try to bring them on board. And I think by all parts of the industry working together, the supply side, the delivery side, the wholesalers, the big brands, and the trade associations such as ourselves, BFFF, FWD and some of the others, I think if we make a concerted effort together, we have a chance of gaining the trust of the wholesalers and getting them on board.